yo, it's your boy M-phamis, but you call me M3bullet. Welcome back. Alright, I finally had time to rewatch the Despicable Me movies, 1 all the way through 4. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on DNR. Links to everything is down below. The movie starts off with a family of 3, going to Egypt for a little family vacation. They're planning to go see the pyramid. When a little boy snuck past the security guards, guarding the pyramid. The 2 guards chased him up the ramp, and the boy was very close to the edge. And the boy accidentally fell off the ledge. He fell down, but instead of dying, he just bounces up in the air. Turns out the pyramid was nothing but an inflatable replica of the pyramid. Ever since the pyramid got stolen, every country has been protecting their precious landmarks and monuments. Cops are trying to figure out which of the world's villains is up to this and who's really behind this. Then we got introduced to our main character group, who's walking around the park till he saw a kid whose ice cream fell down on the ground. Feeling a little sad for the kid, it made it a little balloon animal and gave it to the kid. And he popped it for him. Gru was a villain, and he's been doing crimes for years. I don't know how. Gru's been committing crimes for years though. Gru went inside a little coffee shop, and he noticed that there was a long line. So in order for him to sneak in, Gru walked in the coffee shop and noticed that there was a long line. So he pretty much used his free gun to pretty much cut it in line. He pretty much took the coffee and the donuts from the shop. But he did leave a little tip behind. Gru was on his way home from work. He made it home. And then he was talking to his neighbor Fred. He was talking to him about how his dog always leaves little droplets in his yard. And he's I'm not really cool with that. Gru made it inside his house, and he was about to sit down and eat. Then we got introduced to Margot, Edith, and Agnes. There are 3 kids from this orphanage that was run by this lady named Miss Hattie. They were selling cookies. Gru was not feeling it and not liking it, so he rudely saw him off. Then we were introduced to Dr. Nefario. Dr. Nefario is Gru's mad scientist. Came up with all his cool fancy gadgets and gizmos for him to commit his crimes. Dr. Nefario was telling Gru that there was some villain that stole the pyramid and how it's all over the news. Gru doesn't even know about this, and Gru was okay, assemble the minions, we need to talk. The minions are pretty much these short, yellow creatures with 1 or 2 eyes. And they're pretty much his little henchmen. They help him commit crimes as well. Gru is down in the lair, told the minions that he got planned to basically outshine the little pyramid being stolen thing, and how he located a shrink ray into some sort of facility. And what did he plan to do with the shrink ray? He's planning to use the shrink ray to basically shrink the moon and hold it hostage for the world to realize that Gru is the greatest villain of all time. We're introduced to Vector. He's the bad guy of the whole thing. Gru is in a meeting with Perkins. Perkins was telling Gru that, hey, if you can get the shrink ray, then I'll talk about you getting the loan. Gru tried countless times to steal the shrink ray back from Vector, but every time he does, it always blows back in his face and it always doesn't work. Then he noticed that the Margot, Edith, and Agnes were walking to Vector's house, and they were selling cookies to Vector. Gru came up with a plan to adopt Margot, Edith, and Agnes, pretty much use them to help him steal the shrink ray. Gru adopted Margot, Edith, and Agnes under the false pretenses that he was some sort of dentist that was wit. The kids noticed that there was something weird going on with Gru, and they found out that he was a super villain this whole time. Over time, Gru's starting to soften himself up. Starting to like the fact that Margot, Edith, and Agnes are around. There was a little dance recital that Gru promised. Dr. Nefario called the orphanage to tell him to take him back. Gru went up to the space, used a shrink ray, shrunk the moon, but he realized that it was gonna be late for the kids' dance recital. Gru noticed that there was a note, and he realized that Vector kidnapped them. Gru went up and rescued the girls, and at the end of the movie, we end the movie with a little dance recital and a little dance sequence. And Gru realized that this is the happiest that he's ever been. And that's the end of the movie. The second movie, we got a little romance into the mix. The movie starts out in the Arctic Circle. There was a research base over there. 2 guards were playing a little game, and one of them won the game a little bit. What was it? Then the chain started to mysteriously float up in the air, and the place was being under attack by this giant ship that had this giant magnet that was stealing the whole research base. And then we got introduced to the AVL and Silas Ramsbottom. Silas Ramsbottom is the head of the AVL, the anti-villain league. He told his agent Lucy Wilde, that she's like got to like bring Gru in. Gru was at like a birthday party for Agnes, pretty much like getting the decorations ready. The kids were like all having a good time. Agnes was really enjoying herself. Gru was on the phone with like some entertainers about like the fairy princess that was supposed to show up for Agnes' party. The fairy princess is not coming. Gru was kind of a little mad about that, so Gru pretty much came up with a plan to pretty much like dress up as a fairy princess to like show up at Agnes' party since the entertainer won't show up. Then we meet Julian. Julian is like Gru's neighbor that's like trying to like set Gru up on a date. Gru was like not having it, and he kind of like grabbed the hose and pretty much sprayed her with the hose. It was kind of funny. Lucy was waiting for Gru to be outside. Lucy like went up to Gru, told him that, hey, you gotta come with me. Gru was not having it, so he brought out his freeze ray, but Lucy kind of like used her flamethrower and like electrocutes Gru a little bit. Two of the minions were watching the whole thing happen, and then they chased after Lucy, and we got like a little funny car chase sequence. It was funny. Lucy took him to like the AVL base that was in the submarine. Silas and Lucy pretty much told Gru that, hey, we need your help to like find like the PX41 serum. It's a transmutation serum that in the wrong hands it could be extremely deadly, and Gru's not having that because like Gru's a dad now, and he's like working on like being a legitimate businessman, like selling like jams and jelly. Gru said like peace out, but by the time he like got outside, he realized that like they're in the middle of the ocean and there was only a little raft. Lucy handed him a card and like told him to like call them like if he wants to join in or not. Down in the lair, like we see the minions like making like jams and jelly, and Dr. Nefario had like something to tell Gru, how he missed being evil and how he got employment somewhere else. And then Dr. Nefario leaves. A minion was cleaning like the living room, and then he heard like a little knock on the door, and what was it, a shadowy figure like kidnapped a minion. The girls were on like a dating website trying to create Gru a profile for him to like go out and start dating, and Gru pretty much told him that he's working for the AVL now and how he's gonna be a spy and save the world. Gru was heading to the mall because like that's where like the AVL kind of like told him to like go. There was like this store called Bake My Day. It's a little bakery, but really it's a front for like AVL investigation stuff. Then unexpectedly he ran into Lucy. Lucy told Gru that they're kind of like need to partner up because of Gru's past and because she's kind of new at this. The objective was to identify like any of the store owners that might or probably is like the villain that has the PX41 serum. Gru and Lucy been looking around trying to figure out like which one of the store owners came in. Then we got introduced to Eduardo. He's this restaurant owner that like has a shop like right across from the mall. He wanted like some cupcakes to like have it like decorated like the Mexican flag. Gru started to notice that Eduardo looks familiar, and then he realized that he might be El Macho. El Macho was like this villain from like a couple of years ago that like died in like a volcano explosion. Gru and Lucy pretty much like came up with a plan to like investigate his place like tonight, trying to speed things up. They investigated Eduardo's place, but that didn't work well. Then they were investigating this dude named Igasan. He's the dude with waves. They found like traces of the serum, but there was like a little interruption because Margot was dating Eduardo's son, and Gru was not having it. Gru ended up like going on a date, but that didn't work well. And he realized that he's having like feelings for Lucy. The AVO like caught the Equal Son guy, and Lucy is transferring somewhere else. Gru and the girls like managed to single them out party. Gru was right, Eduardo was El Macho, and Dr. Nefario is working with El Macho because like they had like a little plan to use the minions and the PS141 serum to take over the world. El Macho kind of like took Lucy hostage, and Gru had to rescue her. They cured the minions, and at the end of the movie, they end up getting. Brotherly love is so in this movie, man. The third movie starts out with like a news report about like this dude named Balthazar Brat, who used to be like a child actor back in the 80s that was part of a show called Evil Brat. I mean, it was like one of the most popular shows that ever existed around that time. It got canceled because the actor got older, and after like the series was like canceled, like he'd been like rejected by Hollywood. He never did any Hollywood work again. Eventually, like he started to believe that he is the character from like the show, and everybody started to wonder what happened to him now. Fast forward years later, he is actually like a real villain in the real world, and he has like 1980s like special gadgets and gizmos. Brad is like one of the most wanted villains that the AVL is after. Brad is in the middle of a heist because he's planning to steal a diamond that is on in like an AVL guarded ship, and Silas like noticed that, and he realized that it is Balthazar Brat, and he wants every single agent on the scene immediately. Gru and Lucy and two other minions were chasing Brat, and Brat looked outside. Brat already took the diamond already, and he said, "Too late, Gru." Brat was using some sort of helium glum, and he pretty much placed them all over the boat and kind of caused it to literally float up in the air. Gru and Lucy and everyone else was shot, and they tried to make it, but that didn't work. Lucy kind of shot at Gru to cause a little explosion in the water to blow him up there. Gru and Balthazar Brat was fighting and getting it in. Gru managed to knock him out, but Balthazar Brat was faking it. Balthazar Brat was using his keyboard gun to blast him over the edge, wrap him in some sort of bubblegum speedo, but Gru managed to get the diamond. Balthazar Brat kind of escaped. Gru and Lucy were called up to the AVL headquarters to have a little discussion or some sort of meeting. Ramsbottom was in charge of the whole thing, and Ramsbottom pretty much told everyone that he's leaving the LVL and he's kind of retiring, and he kind of had a replacement ready, and the replacement kind of came in, fired Lucy and Gru, and they're out of the AVL. Gru and Lucy were on their way to the house, and they were talking about how Gru and Lucy were on their way to the house, and Gru was talking about she shouldn't have gave that up for him, but Lucy really didn't mind. And they noticed that the door was open to their house, and they pretty much were gearing up and getting ready for a fight. But surprise, the kids planned a surprise party for them, kind of their little honeymoon party. It's all Hawaii themed, and Gru and Lucy kind of had to break the news to the kids that they're not part of the AVL anymore. After they talked about them getting new jobs, one of the minions, Mel pretty much called Gru. And Gru was in the lair, telling the minions that they're not going back to villainy anymore. And the minions were really not feeling it, and they kind of quit. Then two minions kind of stayed with the rest of the family. In Paris, a gem expert was told to go to this museum where the Dubont diamond is being held at, because he was kind of sent there by the cops to pretty much investigate to see if that diamond was fake or not. Turns out the gem expert was Balthazar Brat in disguise, and he tried to start the rest of the guards and everyone else, and he stole the diamond. The next day, early in the morning, Gru was picking up the newspaper and seeing that Balthazar Brat was on the cover of it. He noticed that Agnes was selling her unicorn, and Agnes is telling him that she's doing this because since she's out of a job and she wanted to help. Gru told her that it's nothing to worry about. Then we got introduced to Fritz. Fritz was trying to get Gru's attention, but Gru was not having it. And Gru kind of asked Fritz to hold the vacuum for a second, and the vacuum kind of turned into a rocket, and he kind of launched himself out of there. Alright, time to fast forward. Gru find out that he has a brother named Drew. He's pretty much living in this place called Fredonia, and he found out that his dad was a villain this whole time. And his brother was asking brother, teach me how to be a villain. Brothers went on a little joyride for a little bit. Balthazar Brat is using the diamond, pretty much create some sort of giant robot to destroy Hollywood. Lucy is trying to bond with the kids a little more, but kind of fails at it. The brothers pull a heist to steal Brat's diamond back. The brothers fall out for a minute. Balthazar Brat kind of kidnapped the girls, and they end up rescuing the girls. The minions were in jail, and they were busting out. In the end, Gru defeated Balthazar Brat, and the fourth movie started out with Gru pretty much going to his old high school. It's a high school for supervillains, and there was a little high school reunion going on there, and pretty much Gru was sent there by the AVL to apprehend Maxime Lamal. He's this French villain, kind of this weird obsession with cockroaches, and he's the AVL most wanted villain. Three other minions came with Gru, and they were doing their minion thing. One of them accidentally got themselves caught in jelly, and the rest of the other minions had to eat him out. It was kind of funny. Then we kind of got our little interactions between Gru and Maxime Lamal. Maxime Lamal was clowning Gru for how he's not a successful villain, and how he's with his girlfriend, who was the most popular girl at school, and the most attractive girl at school though. The principal Uberschlick, presenting an award for the Villain of the Year award or something, and Maxime Lamal kind of win. He kind of gave a little speech, and he started explaining the fact that he kind of was altering his DNA to give himself superpowers using a roach's DNA. Now he can fly, he's super strong. And not only that, he got multiple limbs to attack. Gru told Maxime that he was under arrest, and he tried to take him down with a glue gun or something. Gru called in the rest of the other AVL agents. Maxime managed to whoop all their butts with no effort. Maxime was quickly caught, then he kind of broke out of it, and then he got caught again by the AVL agents that used some taser guns. Before he got captured, he told Gru that he better watch himself because he's coming after Gru. Next thing kind of left a mark on Gru, and Gru was a little scared. We cut back to Gru's house. Gru just got back from the grocery store. He was just like getting like some milk. The girls came in. Agnes wanted to show Gru that she was like teaching her goat Lucky like some new tricks, but that didn't work out well. And then Lucy showed up, and guess what? Gru and Lucy just had a baby. It's a boy. They named him Gru Jr. Gru Jr. is not like really liking Gru like that. Like Gru can show like the most affection, and the baby is not like feeling it at all. Then we got like a little like baby changing thing with the minions. M pretty much showed up and told them that hey, you guys need to go on the run now because Maxine Lamall just escaped prison, and like the family's a little worried and a little scared. Agnes had to say goodbye to Loki. M told them that they had to like go to this town called Mayflower. Mayflower is like this like town that the AVO uses to pretty much like hide their agents if they needed to go under witness protection. The minions were on like an AVO bus. They were like cutting up, like having like a good time, and like well, you know, they're being the minions, of course. Then like the driver kind of like wasn't having it, and he was like trying to like scare the minions straight, but that didn't work. Come on, guys, it's the minions. They made it to like this little suburb neighborhood, and Roundbottom pretty much told the family that hey, you guys need to go by like a different name for their own safety. Gru and Lucy had to like have like fake jobs. Gru is like a solar panel salesman, and Lucy is like some sort of hairdresser. Alright, time to speed this up. To get back at Gru, Maxine was planning to like kidnap Gru Jr. to like get Gru back for like some high school stuff, to like get him back for arresting him. The family were not like really like having a little hard time adjusting to this. Agnes is like trying to refuse to lie because she had to like use a fake name. Margot's like a little nervous about school. Then we got introduced to this neighbor kid named Poppy. Never let Lucy do your hair like ever. Not even let her touch it, man. I'm telling you. Otherwise, you're gonna go bald. Who was blackmailed by Poppy? Poppy is like a wannabe villainess. She wanted to like do this heist where she's like steals like a school mascot from Gru's old school, like a live honey badger. They managed to do the heist, but like things went sideways. Then we got like a little epic chase scene. They didn't know that like the badger was like microchipped this whole time. The principal told Maxine. The principal went down to Gru's house. The kids were there, and the kids were like being held hostage. Gru and Lucy were like on their way there, and they beat the principal. Maxine managed to like get Gru's son, and managed to like turn him into like some half cockroach human hybrid. We end up having like a little epic chase scene and also epic fight scene. Gru Jr. ended up saving his dad. Gru managed to defeat Maxine. Gru Jr. said Dada. At the end of the movie, Gru and Maxine were singing Everybody Wants to Rule the World, and that's how the movie ends. I really do love the Despicable Me movies, man. I mean, just saying, like, the Despicable Me movies gotta be like the newest, I don't know, I guess, let's see, what's the longest running sitcom that's still popular today? Or, I don't know, any cartoon that's still famous, like very back in the day, but still like relevant now. Wait, oh yeah, like Tom and Jerry or Scooby-Doo in my opinion though. I'm just saying, man, you cannot have like Despicable Me without the Minions, man. And I heard that they're releasing like another Minions movie. Okay, honestly, in my opinion, they should have like just leave it at 2 in my opinion. Because like, I would say like too much, I don't know, well, I don't know. I mean, some people say like too much of a good thing is a bad thing. But with the Minions, I don't know if that rule sort of applies though. Okay, I really do love that song, like, I gotta get my way. I really did like that song though. I gotta admit, it was pretty good though. I'm having a bad day. It's about time that I get my way. The song was by like a rapper by the name of Pharrell Williams. This dude has been like making music for Despicable Me movies, like the first movie all the way to the last movie, man. And I gotta admit though, like that, bro, that was bars to me, man. I was listening to it like the entire time. Okay, guys, in case you guys don't remember, I did like draw like a Gangsta Thug version of the Minions. Hey, guys, if you guys type in like Despicable in the comments down below, I will definitely draw like a Gangsta Thug version of like Gru from Despicable Me. Okay, my opinion about the second movie though, I mean the second movie was kind of good and kind of interesting. Because I always wondered like why is Gru single? And I guess, I don't know why they add that, like why they have like brought that up, like Gru like needing like a girlfriend or something. But, I mean I guess it's a good thing that we got Lucy into it. And Lucy has been like a little good addition to like the Despicable Me franchise in a way. And hey, has anyone even bothered to ask like how old is Gru? I mean I did Google it and it kind of would I mean, he says it's like he's in his 40s, but like it's 2024 and the Despicable Me came out 14 years ago. So I guess they're kind of like going through the Simpsons, bro. In my opinion, though, they should at least like let the kids grow up. On being honest, or like everyone in the cast or the movies kind of like grow up a little bit. At least give us like a little good time jump. In my opinion, though, I don't think they should like do like the whole time loop thing where like like the Simpsons do, where like the characters still remain the same age but they're in different eras and different years and all that stuff. I honestly think, like, I mean, maybe, I'm saying no to that move. Because, hey, I mean, there's, like, a lot more stories to be told if there was, like, a little age jump. Because, like, think about it. I mean, one possibility I can see with the whole time jump thing is, like, Edith being evil. I mean, Edith, like, the blonde little kid with the little pink hat, I'm gonna be honest with you, that little girl has the potential to become a villain. And that would be a good, like, storyline for, like, a fifth Despicable Me movie, in my honest opinion, because think about it. Think about it for a second, though. I mean, like, Gru's a good guy, and now he has to, like, face against his own kids. Now, that would be a pretty good, unique storyline, and it wouldn't be surprising that Gru Jr. could potentially, like, be a villain in, like, the fifth Despicable Me movie, or the sixth or seventh. I don't know, like, how many Despicable Me movies do we really need to have for that to really happen, though. I would say if there are gonna be, like, more Despicable Me movies down the line, I'd probably think it would be, like, 8 or 9 movies at that point. Because, let's be honest, the popularity of Despicable Me is still, like, relevant, still, like, popular now, though. Okay, for the third movie, I really do love the third movie. Like, the third movie is amazing, though. The Michael Jackson bad scene, where Balthazar Brad was, like, stealing the diamond, I was really enjoying that scene, because I'm telling you, Michael Jackson bad is the classic, like, Michael Jackson song, though. I mean, between it and Beat It, I mean, I do love them both, but if I only had to pick one, I mean, I don't know, man, it's just too difficult to choose because they were both good songs in my opinion, man. The 80s had good music. Alright, before the fourth movie, I honestly like Balthazar Brad. Like, out of all three Despicable Me villains before the fourth one, I honestly like Balthazar Brad the most, honestly. Mostly because of the music and the dancing. Because anyone that knows me in real life knows I love to dance, and it kinda is a little bit of my thing. I kinda like some of, like, the 1980s, like, references they was making, like, it's on, like, Donkey Kong, Son of a Betamax, and me being totally honest though, I thought that Dr. Nefario is Gru's dad. I mean, I'm just saying, before, like, the fourth movie came out and the third movie came out, I honestly thought Dr. Nefario was actually Gru's dad the whole time, because I don't understand, like, why Gru had, like, an old man scientist to, like, do his, like, little evil bidding, when he could have got, like, a more evil scientist thing. In my opinion, honestly though, I really did like the idea of Gru having, like, a twin brother thing. I mean, not only that, with him being introduced to the Despicable Me franchise, in my opinion though, like, there's so much potential though. Because since Gru is kind of, like, on the good guy side, like, the whole point of Despicable Me, well, technically the moral of the story is that, like, a bad guy can be a good guy, but, I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's a potential for that story happening again, in my opinion, though. Honestly, though, I mean, it really would be fascinating to see, like, how would Drew, like, go through his, like, villain journey without Gru or anything else. Because, I mean, again, like, for most of his life, he's been viewed as a failure because, like, his dad used to be, like, this cool villain, and he's trying to, like, live up to that kind of thing. I mean, that'd be nice to actually, like, get, like, a little movie about that. Hopefully, like, Universal really do that kind of thing, in my opinion. Okay, here's one thing I do not understand about, like, the AVO or anything like that. Like, why didn't they ever, like, I don't understand, like, the Universal Despicable Me at first, because I don't understand, like, what was it, from what I remember, at least, I remember watching this video, what was it, 107 Facts About Despicable Me, that they originally were intended for, like, superheroes to be part of, like, the whole Despicable Me universe, but I guess they wanted to, like, I don't know, try to, like, create, like, a cool agency for something like that. In my opinion, though, they should have, like, kept the superhero part of the idea, in my honest opinion. Because, I mean, it would be interesting to, like, see, like, superheroes fighting super villains, in my opinion, though. Alright, time for me to get into the fourth movie. I'm gonna be honest with you, I felt like there was a little different quality with the fourth movie, honestly, though. I mean, I felt like there wasn't enough time for, like, Minions to, like, shine a little bit, because we got more cutaway gags with Maxine, honestly, with his girlfriend, honestly, I feel like that should have been like going to the minions. Like seriously, is Maxine trying to like take over for the minions? Like, bro, that is freaking evil, man. Like that is just crazy. Okay, in my opinion though, they kind of like underdeveloped the kids. In my opinion, like they really do be just like putting the girls there just to put them there, the fact that they're there. I mean, look, point is, what I'm saying is like they're keeping the girls there just to be there. In my own opinion, they should at least age them up in the fourth movie a little bit, like show us that there's actually time has passed, or maybe I don't know, maybe like between the movies, it's only been like a couple months or a couple weeks. I don't know, man. Okay, okay, I'm gonna point this out. Okay, Poppy, like I'm just saying, the way that they designed her, she looked like one of the characters from One Piece. I honestly never even watched like the One Piece, like the series, I guess. But I mean, she kind of does look a little bit like a character. It's obvious that they probably looked at like one of the characters from One Piece and definitely like incorporating that into like her design, obviously. Also, I found like the Dance Revolution scene kind of like pretty funny and really like I guess a little nostalgic because I remember back when like arcades used to be a thing. Because keep in mind, guys, I was born in the early 2000s and arcades were still around. There was like one at the mall, but eventually got shut down. And there was like I think there was a Dance Revolution machine, but it was pretty fun though. Well, I know to never let Lucy touch your hair ever again, or ever. Bro, that is just so funny. And what I caught the Terminator reference, specifically Terminator 2 from the little chase scene from the grocery store. Bro, that is definitely straight up Terminator, man. I really did enjoy that reference and those Easter eggs. Okay, in my opinion about the Mega Minions, bro, we all know once it comes to merch, bro, everybody's gonna be hunting down for those Mega Minions. Honestly though, I caught the references, like who they're trying to reference with each minion. For example, the stretchy one, definitely Mr. Fantastic. The rock one, definitely like, what was it, the Thing? The flying one, okay, I cannot picture, I guess they were trying to parody Doctor Strange in a way. You know that the cone-shaped head, I think it was like a 90s movie called Conehead, it was a comedy, I think. And the other one, definitely Cyclops. And let's see, I guess the one with just super strength, I guess they're just like, I guess it's just like any like super strength based superhero, I guess. But I like how like they reference like a bunch of like superhero movies, but like they managed to fail so miserably with those. The Mega Minions gotta be like another like funny good part about like this one, in my opinion though. Okay, I really did like the Despicable Me version of Everybody Wants to Rule the World. In case you guys don't know, the song was originally made back in the 80s, I think like 1984 or 1986, I think. That song has like so many covers, man. It's been like featured in like a bunch of movies and TV shows. But like one movie I recognize that song from was like from Sky High. It's a Disney movie, pretty much like a superhero high school kind of movie. Okay, I really did like Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I liked the movie version of that song. I mean, I really did like it. It was pretty good. And I love the cameos that they had of like the villains from the first three Despicable Me movies, as well as the Minion movie. Okay, it's crazy how we see like the villains age up, but not like any of the characters. Like, what the heck, man? Like, seriously? Like, everyone gets to age, but except, well, I mean, like, the villains get to age, but none of the other characters. I mean, honestly, how I feel about the fourth movie, it's a little down in quality a little bit, but I mean, I'm glad that they really did like add that in the end because that was a good song though, and I was surprised that Will Ferrell was even in that movie though. I mean, I don't think like Will Ferrell actually done like animated work before. I think it would be his first one. I think he'll probably do more. Like, have you noticed that though? Like people that mostly like do like live action movies, they end up like doing like animated voices now. Like Chris Pratt, Garfield. And was it Mario? Don't you find that a little weird though? Sorry to like, skip the calculations and, do my little rant about like the rating and all that stuff. But I thought I might as well skip that for a day. Anywho, like, share, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on DNR. Links to everything is down below. And guys, I'm definitely gonna review like the Minion movies if I have like a little time. If you guys type in Despicable like in the comments down below, I'll draw like a Gangsta Thug version of Gru from Despicable Me. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do is type in Despicable and I'll draw a Gangsta Thug version of Gru. And guys, shout out to like my day one people. For the people that's been here since day one, thank you guys. I would not be here without you guys' support. You guys are the real MVPs, man. Like, share, and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, check me out on tonight. And guys, I got TikTok, so you guys might as well check that out as well. M3bullet out.